When developing the handstand, some people can just use the wall or a partner, and in a relatively short amount of time, they learn how to handstand. These are the talented people. But for the untalented, they go through this process never learning anything. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 mistakes that are very common to make when developing the handstand and how to fix them. Good. We wait for Max to finish. Good. Mistake number 1, improper capacity. If you can't support yourself upside down without balance being in the equation, then when you approach the freestanding handstand, you're going to end up hitting a wall. I find this very common as people want to skip stages and immediately start balancing. Instead, it would be much smarter to build up your support capacity by doing variations of chest to wall handstand, working up to 60-second holds, and eventually being able to do the full 60 seconds as close to the wall as you can. This allows you to work on the positioning, the connection, strengthen the wrist, the shoulders, the elbows, feel where the body needs to be in space and how to make corrections without balance being in the equation. Choose a variation that you can hold for at least 30 seconds across multiple sets and build this towards 60 seconds. Get closer and closer towards the wall until your hands are just a few centimeters away. Once you can do 60 seconds here, your support capacity is at the level where it won't impact you during the freestanding handstand work. Mistake number 2, weak connections. Our wrists, our hands, our fingers are very active, grabbing the ground and maintaining our center of mass over our base of support. Just like if we stand on one leg and we challenge the balance, the ankles, the feet, the toes are maintaining our equilibrium. They are moving and adjusting as needed in order to maintain balance. The center of my body wants to stay as unmoved as possible. More movement at the center will make the balance very, very challenging. There are a number of things we can do to improve these connections. The first thing we can do is increase our base. We can do this by spreading the fingers. This will give us more areas to rebalance. The second thing we can do is grip the ground actively. Mistake number 3, inconsistency. It is very common to choose a progression that is just too difficult for ourselves. We are failing more than we're achieving. The problem here is we often don't get enough practice getting the mechanisms until once in a blue moon, we get a hold and then we celebrate, but it never comes back with any good consistency. Instead, it would be good to choose something that you're failing around 30% and succeeding around 70%. This means you're probably going to use a less impressive or easier progression, but with the benefit of developing these mechanisms that eventually allow you to freestanding handstand. Here's a nice example of myself going for glory in the one-arm handstand. The problem is I never learned the one-arm handstand in this way. I was just throwing the arm up, never learning the actual balance mechanisms. So when I had a good teacher, I went back to easier regressions, understanding the position, how to rebalance correctly, and all of these really important cues. And after years of practice, the one-arm handstand came. I had to take a step back in order to actually move forward. Mistake number 4, perfection. We are often told that a straight handstand equals an efficient handstand. For some people, this is not true at all. Different weaknesses, mobility limitations, and more can cause the straight handstand to be impossible. So a banana handstand is completely fine. We can learn to balance like this while at the same time improving our limitations. And as our limitations improve, we can insert this into the handstand and improve the line over time. But if you get stuck on perfection, you may never develop the handstand at all. And the 5th and final mistake, quasi-plateau. When we're looking at the handstand, sometimes session to session, day to day, week to week, we don't see the progress. And we can think that this is a plateau. In this example, I had a regression, seemingly, from session 50 to 54. No progress was being made. I actually went down in time after 4 sessions. So I give up on the handstand, I'm done. But actually, I need to zoom out a bit and check. Oh, before, I not only had half of the hold time, but also 3 to 5 attempts instead of 1 to 2. Now I see the progress. This is the development of the handstand. It's not linear, it's more up and down, doing well, doing bad, doing well, doing bad. This is the normal progression. Sometimes you have to zoom out to see where the progress is actually made. Those were 5 very common mistakes that I see when people are developing the handstand. I hope this sheds some light on developing the handstand. I hope you can take some of these tools and input them into your own practice, and it just boosts your ability to balance on the hands. Thank you for watching. That's the session. For the untalented, this process never works.